Yeah, what's up? What's happening? Welcome into Foxborough Rush.
Yes.
Chapel Hill edition.
Oh.
Chapel Hill Rush. I mean, that's a reality now. It's Chapel Bill down there, man.
Chapel Bill
Hey,
Rush.
Give credit where credit's due.
Yep.
I mean, UNC, lean into it. Take it. Not even, like, it was like the 4 hours of, this is catching steam. Trav, you and I were doubtful.
Yeah, we were.
I was like waiting for like a Pete Thamel to report it. That happened later on.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not going to happen. I don't believe it. I don't think UNC would be doing that after going away from a Mac Brown, hiring a Bill Belichick.
Yep.
And then it happened.
It happened.
Chapel
it's real.
Bill's a thing, man.
It doesn't look real. Like,
Even
I know
though he
it
did
is.
the presser.
Yeah, but it's still weird. Like, seeing him and that. He had the Carolina blue in his outfit, and of course all the photoshops of him as a coach. It's just like, it's so strange to me. It's still so strange to me, but it's a real thing. Chapel Bill is in full effect, my friend.
Hey, we'll have sound from Bill Belichick's introductory presser as the head coach of the University of North Carolina football team.
Yeah.
Real sentence
Crazy.
I just said about Bill Belichick. We'll hear from Michael Lombardi. Look, we normally have him on Friday editions, and didn't happen this week for reasons you can imagine.
Yeah.
He's now the general manager, but he spoke on his show, The Lombardi Line, on VSiN on Thursday morning. We'll have sound from that.
Yep.
And if we get to it, we'll have a Patriots-Cardinals preview.
I mean, is anyone really pining over that, George?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, just hoping they lose out in the desert. So before we get to the Belichick sound, what I loved was you see the work from Seth Wickersham at ESPN, and you see the work from Jeff Howe of The Athletic. Jeff Howe wrote an article on The Athletic, Why Bill Belichick Abandoned Hope of Landing NFL Job, Pursuit of Wins Record. And this gave the side of the NFL. It necessarily wasn't Bill Belichick who was his source.
Yeah.
But as he opened his article, he's a football coach, a source close to Belichick said. He's going to coach somewhere. One NFL team with a coaching vacancy had already ruled out the idea of interviewing Belichick, according to a league source. Sources with a couple of other teams with potential head coach vacancies didn't believe there would be enough support within the building to hire Belichick. Belichick burned a lot of bridges over his career, a high-ranking team executive said. If he wanted to coach again, he almost had to take this job, talking about UNC. Another team executive said. It's peeling it back. So there's two things.
Yeah.
UNC had to swing big, and Bill Belichick wants to coach again, which I believe.
Yeah.
But it wasn't by his choice to go to college football. He was forced because no one in the NFL wanted to hire 73-year-old, about to be 73, head coach that wants to come in and wants absolute control. And Belichick wasn't going to find an opening that had it how he wanted to.
That's right.
So what does he get at UNC, Trav?
Yeah.
Complete control.
Yeah, that's really what this is about. And look, even when we said we thought this was from the land of make-believe, that Bill Belichick would coach UNC, we both, in a way, covered our own selves of, hey, look, if this is a real thing, it's clearly about the control. Because we remember when everything was leaked about what he wanted to do at UNC. Remember, I want my own staff, my son is next in line, all these things. And we said, yeah, clearly, if he takes a UNC job, it was almost like a duh. Like, if this were a real thing, he would want the power. I happen to think NFL teams, and it started with the Falcons, George, did not want to give him the power. I believe Bill Belichick could be a top coaching candidate in this pool of job openings in the NFL if you're just coaching my team. I don't think any team has an issue with that.
Yeah.
If I'll just throw this out for the sake of throwing it out. If he takes a Giants gig or the Bears or whoever, he's there long enough to pass Shula for wins, and then he's out of the game. He has all the Super Bowls. He has all the wins. Legacy cemented. I'm out. But no NFL team was going to give him the ultimate power that he wanted, of course. And so what do? I mean, UNC started flirting with him. So, of course, that's where he's going to go. You're going to give me power. You're going to give me money. I can set my son up. He talked about his father. You know, so now you go from the father to Bill to his son. This is a legacy play. And he loves teaching, George. It makes sense. Now it makes sense to me.
He loves teaching, but he wouldn't hire from outside of his circle in his later years in New England because he didn't want to teach any young assistant coaches his system.
Yeah.
Like, he was flipping guys like a Vinny Cincieri, who was a safety in college at Alabama, and on the defensive side, flipping him to a running backs coach.
Yeah.
as his longtime running backs coach is getting ready to retire. So now he wants to teach. We'll see. One more nugget from Jeff Howland, The Athletic. He did an awesome job, always does. Another longtime Belichick associate thought the move to UNC made sense for other reasons too. Belichick will essentially have unilateral control over the program, which wouldn't necessarily be the case if he had gotten another NFL opportunity. And a handful of Belichick's friends, Nick Saban, Greg Schiano, Chip Kelly, Kirk Ferentz, Jed Fish, who's the head coach at University of Washington now, where Steve Belichick's a defensive coordinator. Kirk Ferentz, a longtime head coach of Iowa, who's up there in age, but has been there the whole time. They've enjoyed success at the college level. He can use them as resources as he acclimates to a different football world. The one thing I always say, and I flip it to the other side, like when the Bears opening happened, where there will be a Cowboys opening, people float like Dan Lanning. I don't know if Dan Lanning wants to leave college because he controls everything.
That's right.
So Bill is going to college because he controls everything, which makes sense. Here was Bill at the introductory presser on how he would turn the University of North Carolina into a professional program.
Well, yes. In terms of when I say a pro program, I would say, through my experience, what we did in terms of training, developing players, running pro systems, pro techniques. So when the players leave here, this isn't going from the wishbone to a pro offense, that it will be, similar terminology, similar techniques and fundamentals, similar training, similar preparation techniques that have been very successful for me through the years that I know that other NFL teams are using. Whether other college teams are using them or not, I mean, some are, some aren't, but I just know that these will prepare the players, for that. So I'm not, and then from the general manager, head coach model, again, it's a similar type of situation. We're evaluating high school kids and college transfer portal players. NFL teams are evaluating college players and NFL free agent players. So, again, there are some similarities. That's all. I'm not saying it's identical.
Getting kids ready for the pro, man. What he is coming in right now, Trav, he's going to be Nick Saban. It's funny, Nick Saban left because of NIL, but Bill Belichick is coming in because in a way he sees like now is the perfect timing. Because of NIL, everything's transactional. It's not all relationship based. There was like the Jim Harbaugh stories, right? Of like climbing a tree with recruits and having sleepovers, sleeping in the bunk bed and like doing all that. Bill doesn't have to. And I think it's more important how he turns it into a pro program. He wants it to be a pipeline. And that's his selling card on this all. Bill Belichick walks in with 8 Super Bowl rings. He has Michael Lombardi, who has 3. Josh McDaniels with 6. Matt Patricia with another 3. Just to name those guys. His son, Steve, I forgot how many he was around for. Let's say that's another 2 or 3. I think it's 3. Like, that all together, it's 20 Super Bowl rings on the fast math. Lay it out, get these recruits and bring them in. But his main selling point, and he's done it, Trav, since he started talking on the Pat McAfee show, he's going out there and he's advertising and marketing himself of, this is not the University of North Carolina. This is not the ACC that I am coaching. This is the NFL B. The NFL is the A. This is the step between college and the NFL to get you there. So when you step in, you're a day one starter and you're an immediate impact guy. And I'm going to get you ready for the pros because guess what? I'm the greatest NFL head coach of all time. And now I'm going to teach you to the college kids. That's what he's pushing.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
You brought up Jim Harbaugh. I thought of Pete Carroll at USC. Older guys figured out a way to kind of get that connective tissue with the younger generation. Those two specifically, George, did it with energy.
Yeah.
They're wild, they're crazy, they're fun, they're old, but they're young. You follow me?
Yeah.
That ain't Bill.
Nope.
Then you mentioned Saban. Saban got out because of NIL. But Saban's pitch was, we win, I get you to the league.
Yeah.
It worked, right? Mm-hmm. We see this in basketball, too. Think about Cal at Kentucky for all those years. They didn't win as many titles as you would think, but he was a pipeline for guys to go to the league. That was his calling card. I wonder if this is too little too late for Bill Belichick. And what I mean is, because of NIL, I get why he's coming in with this NFL structure, right? We're going to have this for NIL, and Lombardi's going to be the GM, and I'm going to get you to the NFL, and this is going to be a factory. What you said, NFL B, right?
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if that works anymore. This is going to sound crazy. I actually think Bill in escaping the NFL model and bringing it to college is going to find a bigger NFL monster waiting on him. These kids want to go pro, no doubt.
Yeah.
But, I know some people that know Caleb Williams, right? I was told when Caleb Williams was drafted by the Bears and signed his rookie deal, salary only, he was taking a pay cut from what he was making at SC, George. Now, obviously, you have endorsements, you have all these other things. Caleb Williams is taken care of in Chicago.
Yeah.
But just his bare salary, George.
Yeah.
He took a pay cut leaving college. You know what kids care about in college now? Money.
Yeah.
And that's not to say Bill won't have the NIL stuff handled, but I'm just saying I don't think a calling card anymore of I can get you to the league is enough. These kids don't give a rat's ass. They want the money, baby. What are you paying me? So if it's Bill Belichick in a living room with a bag of cash saying I can get you to the NFL, you would think the X factor would be Bill Belichick in a living room. I don't think kids care. If it's Coach C from Georgia Tech and he's got a bigger bag, guess where he's going? To the Yellow Jackets. That's where. So I don't know if this is just playing devil's advocate. I'm not convinced this works.
Yeah.
It could, and I could be wrong. I don't think kids care about Bill Belichick's legacy. They know who he is, but they're not vested. They don't give a damn. They were babies for this dynasty.
Yeah.
Some of them weren't even here yet. So I think there's some of that. And then this pitch, I'm Bill Belichick, and I'm going to get you to the league.
Yeah.
It feels outdated already. He's coming in with an outdated model. It's just about money now. That is recruiting.
But
biggest bag.
Yeah, and he did that in part to push UNC's NIL from $4 million to $20 million.
Yeah.
You know how much Ohio State spent on this year's team? Injuries be damned, $20 million.
Yep.
Nico Iamaleava, the quarterback for Tennessee, the reason they're in the college football playoff, he's making around $4 to $7 million. So that's the name of the game. He doesn't need that energy. And guess what, Trav? He doesn't have to be in living rooms. Prime doesn't go to living rooms. Now, he has Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter, so that's a magnet in it of its own.
Sure.
But Deion Sanders isn't out there recruiting and sitting in kids' living rooms. He has a GM. Andrew Luck's a GM at Stanford. Steve Wojnarowski is the GM. Adrian Wojnarowski, excuse me. Adrian Wojnarowski, the ESPN reporter, is the GM of St. Bonaventure. Like, they're the guys that handle the numbers, the guys that oversee recruiting. We'll get into all that a lot more, but Bill's not worried about it. Hey, if you want to hear more about Bill Belichick going into UNC and all things sports, be sure to check out today's episode of Netson's Daily Sports Podcast, Boston's Enter the Chat. You can find it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts. But so I get what you're bringing up, though, Trav, because it is. All right, Bill, it's about more than the money. It's about more than you. And, all right, is Belichick recruiting? What's your staff going to look like?
Right.
He hit on that, too. This is Bill Belichick sharing how he'll pick his coaching staff at UNC.
Are the best ones we can get. There are several college coaches that are involved in bowl games and so forth. And so I wouldn't interfere with the process at those schools with their commitments to their team. So, we'll see how it goes. But look, in the end, I've already had, a lot of people contact me. There'll certainly be a strong presence of NFL people on the staff. I think that's a certainty, and not only in the staff and in the training area, but at the same time, I'm looking for the best people we can get for Carolina. And that fit, I think, is a little different than what an NFL team would have, but we'll see.
Trav, first step, Bill Belichick's taking on his staff. Freddie Kitchens, the interim head coach right now for UNC, he's keeping him on staff. So he brings up who he's going to have. And now I want to go to the Seth Wickersham report. It was headlined, "In choosing UNC, Bill Belichick chose himself." And these two sentences say it all.
Okay.
And why he chose UNC, it was because, in the words of a confidant, Bill Belichick is, quote, disgusted in what he believes the NFL had become. This is a big FU to the NFL, another Belichick confidant says. So this is where it starts, though. Literally how Wickersham opened it. They met every week. Bill Belichick and a handful of his former assistants with the New England Patriots. Matt Patricia, Michael Lombardi, Josh McDaniels, to name a few. Men with whom he had won Super Bowls. 20 altogether if you include all those guys, and Bill's 2 with the Giants. All of them work out. All of them are out of work. They chat over Zoom and go through each NFL game as they once did in Foxborough, as only they could. Teams, trends, salaries, schematic shifts, stuff only they knew to look for. Which NFL teams might be making a coaching change this year? And of those teams, which of them might be interested in a 72-year-old, 8-time Super Bowl champion? And of those teams, which would Belichick want the most? Note that one line from Wickersham, Trav. And of those teams, which of them might be interested in a 72-year-old, 8-time Super Bowl champion? Who would make sure to say he has 8 rings? Bill himself.
Yep.
Wickersham always comes out with these long novels. I call them Bibles.
Yep.
Now we know who the source is. According to sources with direct knowledge, the group deemed that the Chicago Bears were probably the most attractive job, but that team brass was unlikely to consider Bill Belichick. The group expects the same thing that most around the league do. The Bears will go offense, hoping to give quarterback Caleb Williams a chance at a career, probably targeting Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. It was because, in the words of a confidant, Belichick is disgusted at what he believes the NFL has become. You're picking Ben Johnson over me? You're going to keep Ryan Poles? You're not going to let me run everything? I am disgusted. The NFL doesn't let me do everything. You know who does? The University of North Carolina.
Facts. Well said, my friend. You're kind of a thespian, too. I like that.
What does that
Very
mean?
good. An actor.
Oh, thank you, my friend.
Come on. You don't know? You never heard that?
No, I have. I just never knew
You
the
weren't a
word.
theater kid?
I was handpicked. I'll quick story. In third grade.
Hamlet?
In third grade, Mrs. G, we called her. She pulled me aside. She's like, you should do drama. You're really good at it. And I was like, I don't want to do that with those nerds. Hey, this is theatrics as it is.
Bro, yeah, it is now. But, I mean, what if you missed your calling? You could have won some Oscars or something by now. Look, I'm actually disgusted with this quote. I am.
That is Bill Belichick saying.
What the NFL had become?
F you, NFL. I'm disgusted with you.
Bro, like, are you okay, Bill? What the NFL has become?
It passed you by.
College is worse. In the NFL, you have guardrails. You have salary cap.
Yeah.
You have an NFLPA that's strict as all get out. You have an active commish. I know people hate him, but Roger Goodell's hands are on everything in this league. Like, you're going to college, bro. It's the wild, wild west with the NIL, with the transfer portal. There are no guardrails. The NCAA doesn't care about anything except making money. That's why there's no guardrails. It is insane to me. If these quotes are true, I am disgusted with what the NFL has become. And then you go to a worse version of it in college. I mean, it is sleaze fest city in college sports right now. You got to be kidding me. I'm telling you, man, the more I talk this stuff out, I never felt like it was a good fit at UNC. I want to give him benefit of the doubt because I think he is a tremendous teacher. I think he's a tremendous all-time coach.
Yeah.
I like the lineage part of it. I like that his dad coached there. Now he's coaching there, and then his son will coach there. That's really cool to me. He's watching out for his family. I get it. But I think pride cometh before the fall. On his way out in New England, it was not ugly, oogly. And now you're taking this gig with we'll call it a low self-esteem football program, okay? The UNC brand speaks for itself.
Yeah.
But the football side of things, not so much.
Yeah, the
okay?
expectations.
So I actually think it could be an extension of what we've already seen there. Remember this. Mitch Trubisky, Drake May. I mean, these are guys who went first round, big quarterbacks. They put guys in the league going all the way back from Julius Peppers and Natron Means. It's a ton of guys that's come through UNC football and had success in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see more of that under the Bill Belichick era. Like, I think they'll be fine.
Like, there'll be prospects.
Yeah.
But team success.
Yeah. Like, it's going to be typical there. They'll get a bowl. Hey, look, the college football playoff is expanding to 1,000 teams any day now. So maybe they get in before he's done.
Yeah.
They're not going to win a title with Bill Belichick. They're not going to be Ohio State. They're not going to be Texas. They're not going to be Dan Lanning in Oregon. Like, he'll put some guys in the league, but I hate this comment. I hate what the NFL has become, this high and mighty BS that he's on, if he really said that. Because you're going to scumbag city in college football, bro. That's why Saban got out.
Wait, I get it. I thought you were referring to Chapel Hill as scumbag city.
No. College.
Is
college
scumbag city.
landscape. There's no rules right now. It'll change eventually.
Yeah.
Right now, like the sleaziest of sleaze are winning. Hey, here's a bag of money. It's legal now. Come play for me. They don't give a damn. Playing time, NFL. How much money can you give me? And he's going there thinking he's escaping the NFL hypocrisy? Please.
Real quick, I like you bring up Dan Lanning. I'm going to run this through you. Coaching matchup alone in college. And let's give UNC as a lesser roster, but not by a lot, because in the transfer portal, it could change. Bill Belichick against Dabo Swinney. Who are you taking?
Look, let me save you some time. I'll take Bill Belichick over anyone you're going to say. The problem is how you frame the question. You can't just say he'll have lesser talent, no big deal.
Okay.
Of course it's a big deal. That's not an equal playing field. If you're telling me UNC gets the horses that Oregon gets, that Dabo gets, like you're bringing up, Ohio State gets, I'm taking Bill. Mm-hmm. There's my disconnect. I think there's ego in this. I think Bill thinks I'm taking this job. UNC's lucky to have me, which they are. But two things can be true at once. Yeah, UNC's happy to have you. They're thrilled. If I'm a kid or if I'm in the press in Chapel Hill, I'm doing backflips today, okay? Mm-hmm. But I also think Bill doesn't have the pull that he thinks he does with these youths. I don't think the youngsters of America are going to be salivating and climbing over each other to go play for Bill Belichick at UNC. That's the difference. So coaching X's and O's, everything equal on the field, George, I'll take Bill over. I don't care who you name in the college game. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Therefore, Dabo, Lanning, all these names are going to smoke his arse.
He's going to dismantle Dabo Swinney. I'm convinced. And it doesn't even have to be even playing field. The one thing you say about Bill, awful GM, yes, and everyone will say that. And if he only wanted to be a head coach, he would have had an NFL job this past offseason. But like a Dabo Swinney, Kurt Signetti, Josh Heupel, dude, Ryan Day, Marcus Freeman, come on, your boy, James Franklin, Steve Sarkisian, my boy.
Yeah,
I'm taking Bill over all of them.
Me too.
Kenny Dillingham,
but they have
who
the
runs
horses.
Backwards with his quarterback.
They have the horses, George.
$20 million in NIL. All right, I want to play this sound. Bill Belichick on coaching college players now instead of NFL players, because this answer is a question you have, Trav, which I agree with you on this, having this wonder. But here's Bill on coaching college players instead of NFL players.
Right. Well, again, in the NFL, it's a combination of a lot of things. But if you look at the players we had in the NFL. Tom Brady was a fourth-string quarterback his rookie year. He didn't exactly come in as, with any play time at all. Gronkowski, he, didn't do too much his rookie year. Julian Edelman played quarterback in college. Then he was a wide receiver, and then he was a punt returner. So developing players is, something that Michael and I believe strongly in, and we'll support that with the staff, and we'll support that with the program. There's a lot of opportunity and room for growth for all players, whether 19, 20, or honestly 22, 23. Now, look, there's a certain point in their NFL career where, they kind of level off, and maybe there's a little, maintaining that is really where they're at. But there's so much growth in players. And again, I just think there's a little more time to do it here at the college level. And I'm excited about that opportunity.
Rob Gronkowski had 10 touchdowns his rookie season. Only 42 catches. I get it, the usage. We had 10 receiving touchdowns. So, don't act like he was like a low-impact guy. What do you think of that? Let me say real quick. Tom Brady, 199th pick. You wouldn't let him fall that far.
Yeah.
I get the development.
I hate that.
It took him a while, Bill.
Yeah, this whole thing, man, is just – it's a joke to me. George.
It's you are disgusted by him being disgusted with the NFL.
It validates what I said before the soundbite. I could see the future in this bald head. Ready? Stay with me. Bill is going to put players in the league. Like you and I agree on this.
Okay. I'm seeing it.
Okay? But this whole development stuff, like Bill, don't you understand? You remember Tom Brady came out, I think it was this season, and he was talking about how some of the rookie quarterbacks and some of the young quarterbacks in this league struggled, like a Zach Wilson, a Darnold, a Mayfield along their path, a Geno Smith. And they were asking Tom about it. And Tom got a lot of flack for this, but I think he was right, where he said, as a league, the NFL has dumbed down the game So these quarterbacks learn faster and they can play sooner. And because of that, you don't see the quality of not only quarterback play, but of football play.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying, oh, Tom's just angry man yelling at clouds. And I thought, yeah, but he's right. I bring that up because Belichick's talking about developing guys. Yeah. That takes years. You ain't got it in college. And one of the reasons, it's not just that Bill is so high and mighty and this great teacher and this all-knowing czar. Other coaches in college can teach too. They can develop too. You ain't got the time, bruh. It's microwave. You got to go. You got to win. You got to get in this playoff, and you got to try to win this natty. What's the fastest way I can do that? If we put guys in the league, great. That's a byproduct of it. But you have to win. So here's why I say I can see the future. Bill's going to get guys in the league in however many years. I don't think it's going to be 5 years here, okay?
Yeah.
However many years he does, 3, 4, whatever. He's going to put guys in the league. He's obviously going to raise the profile of UNC football.
Yeah.
His son's going to come in and inherit a monster. Bill's going to have the players there.
Yep.
He's going to have the development in place.
He now has a cap space because he pushed him to get $20 million in NIL.
I think his son will be the guy that gets the playoffs, natties if that's in the future. And by the way, not for nothing, his son can coach.
Yeah.
So
Steve
he's younger. He's gonna relate. That's the play. I think. How dare I say this about the GOAT, George? I think Bill is a bridge coach.
2 seasons, Steve takes over. He's going to be 73 this upcoming season. He signed a 5-year deal. 73, 74, 75, 76, 77. Coaching till he's 77? How old was Joe Paterno?
Man, he was, I think towards the end, he was
10 years too old.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm saying everything off the field aside. Like straight up Joe Paterno.
Yeah, you're right, bro.
On the sideline. One more quote from the Seth Wickersham piece.
Yep.
Says a source with knowledge of his thinking, I'll go be the highest draw in college football. This is what Bill is saying, but on behalf of a source. And we'll have the greatest coach in the ACC instead of you guys who don't want him anymore because there are people who don't deserve to be empowered. Everyone is running away from college football. I think Bill thinks this landscape is better for him. More transactional, less relational. In his mind, this is better for him. So you bring it up. You question the success. You think how long? What do you think the timeline? Will Bill Belichick, I don't want to say be successful. UNC won 6 wins while firing Mac Brown and falling behind.
He'll be successful.
What do you predict? What's the ceiling? What does Bill Belichick achieve at UNC?
Will
he be successful, actually? Let me ask this. Will this work?
Yeah, of course.
Is this a good hire?
Look, he can walk in now, okay, and have you and me on that roster. He's going to win games. He's Bill Belichick, right? Yeah. Yes, he'll be successful. I would guess he'll get them to the playoffs at the end of the rope. So I'm going to give him 3 years. I think he goes 3 years out of the 5, maybe 4. But at that last, like on his way out, he'll get him in the playoff, and then his son comes in.
Yeah. And then son just takes over from that point.
And then now we're talking. I think his son's to the moon.
Look, I was against this hire. Like you fired Mac Brown, who's 73, and you just hired Bill Belichick, who's going to be 73. But Bill Belichick is going to succeed at UNC. Because the truth isn't that at the end. Now is the best time if you're going to make that switch and be someone that's pure on football, pure on transactions. You don't have to kiss ass. You don't have to be in living rooms recruiting. Now is the time for Bill Belichick. Just look at the college football playoff right now. The 12 teams that got in. SMU, this is Rhett Lashley in his 3rd season.
ACC.
They've had top 15 transfer portal classes back-to-back in the ACC. Great call. Indiana was 3-9 last season. Curt Cignetti comes in, leads them to 11 wins. He brought 28 players with him in the portal, including his quarterback that he got from Ohio.
That's right.
Arizona State, 3-9, and Kenny Dillingham's first season. Then they go 11-2 and win the Big 12. 30th ranked transfer portal class, 27 new players. His first season, he got Cam Scatterbo from Sac State. His second season, he got Sam Levitt from Michigan State. His quarterback and his running back, his 2 best players. Boise State, man. Spencer Danielson took over the program. 12-1, win the Mountain West. And he had Ashton Jeanty when he got there. Ashton Jeanty was this good, but the team wasn't this good. Now they're in the playoff.
Yep.
What the key for Bill Belichick is in all of this, he increased the UNC NIL fund from $4 million to $20 million. Ohio State spent $20 million on their team this year. Miami, the University of Miami, who's just on the outside looking in, $15 million. With Cam Ward being the highest paid quarterback in college football. This is college football now.
That's right.
Tennessee, paying Nico Iamaleava, the only reason they're in the playoff, $8 million.
Yep.
Michigan landed the #1 recruit in 2025 with an NIL deal worth over $10 million.
That's right.
This is college football now, and it is a perfect time for Bill Belichick to join the sport. He's going to build up UNC. He'll hand it off to his son. But right away, we're going to see immediate impact success, and it's because Bill knows now is a time. I don't have to recruit. I don't have to be in living rooms. Deion Sanders isn't in living rooms. I have the money, I have to hit the portal, and I have to get these guys to UNC. I'll teach them football, send them to the NFL, and the rest takes care of itself.
There's a big difference, though, between him and Prime in one way, George.
Yeah.
Prime.
Can't relate.
I think, like, even when you see
And Prime talk, is love, man. He's got love for his guys.
When you see him talk to his team, it pours out. I think Deion felt like, okay, I can help change young men's lives or like shape young men into men, take boys to men kind of thing.
Yeah.
Including my son. Like Shador's and his other son, I think it's Shiloh's, on the journey with Prime. And he's helping everyone, right? Yeah. This play, to me, does not feel like that. This feels like Bill's watching out for his son.
Not the players.
I just think there could be some disconnectedness here that I don't know if Bill really sees yet. Like it's a weird transitional time in college sports right now. I just think, there is the business side, which Bill's very focused on, but you still have to connect. I don't know. I just don't think he's going to be successful because he's the GOAT. Okay, it doesn't matter what level of football you coach on. It's still teaching. It's still coaching. He's going to be fine. But I don't think there's these grandiose. I don't see this team being in the playoff anytime soon. I damn sure don't see. I don't think Bill ever wins a natty. I just we have to sort of define success. What
winning
do we
the
think
ACC, which they haven't done since 1980. Winning their conference.
He could do that. Look,
college
you better roll up
playoff.
You better roll up the sleeves now, because hey, George, SMU you brought up, Dabo you brought up, the U you brought up. Syracuse is better than people thought.
Yeah, Fran Brown's a dog, dude.
I mean, Boston College is on the come
Bill
up.
O'Brien.
Can you ever sleep on FSU even when they're down?
No,
you know
I
they're coming
Mike
eventually.
Norvell.
Hell, if I'm Prime, I'm going back to FSU, but that's another topic for another day. Like, I mean, hey, Bill, good luck winning the ACC, brother. Good luck. I don't know when you're going to do it. It ain't next season.
If you're enjoying the football conversation, Foxborough Rush airs every Monday with game reactions, Wednesday with draft talk, and Fridays, we got new episodes. Normally I have Michael Lombardi, but he's busier now. Congrats to our guy, Michael, GM of UNC. You can find it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Spotify, Apple Music, and wherever else you get your podcast. Trav, you know what my favorite part of the hire of Bill Belichick in the press conference was?
What is it, buddy?
It was educating our esteemed producers on how colleges run press conferences.
Yeah.
It was like the chancellor of UNC talking.
Right.
Our one producer, Brendan's like, who the hell is this guy? I go, chancellor. And I go, and just wait. We're going to hear from Bubba Cunningham.
Bubba.
And then our producer, Ethan's like, dude, stop talking. I go, just wait. We'll hear from Bubba. Camera pans on Bill. Pans over to Bubba. And then sure enough, you know what Bubba does? I am so proud.
So proud.
To be introducing the greatest coach of all time, Bill Belichick, as our future head coach.
So proud.
You know who else was at the press conference?
Who?
Not just the chancellor, not just Bubba Cunningham.
Bubba.
Not just Bill Belichick. Michael Lombardi. So I know everyone knows on Friday episodes, we normally have our friend Lombardi on the show.
Yep.
He's making an appearance this week. So Lombardi, Trav, and this is when stuff became real for us, right?
Yes.
Everything was swirling. We were happy with the time. We're like, awesome. We have Michael on the next show.
Yep.
Can't wait to have him. Ask him about UNC.
We get all the deets.
Shoot him a confirmation text like we always do. And he went, hey, I'm going to be busy the next few days. Can't make it this week. Which wasn't crazy.
No.
Because as he said, he's like, I'm traveling. Can't make it. That's fine. It's travel on a Thursday.
Happens from time to time.
But I'm like, what did he say? And they go, he said he's just going to be off the grid, like not going to be, in touch that much. And I go, oh my God.
Yep.
It's happening.
It's all happening. It was not even real to me until that happened,
Until
George.
we had the cancel from Lombardi.
Yes, I'll give
Which
you...
respectfully, I understand.
Yeah, and I'll give you props because you allowed your mind to expand and to go there. Hey, maybe it would be crazy, but Bill could take this job. And I was like, no chance in hell. He's taking the UNC job. And then when Lombardi did that with us, I said, oh, this is really happening.
I was skeptic of the Bill hiring. And then when they said Lombardi can't do it, I go, damn, that sucks. I'm like, is he traveling? They go, no, he's just, busy.
He can't.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's when we knew. And lo and behold, congrats to Michael Lombardi, though. He's going to do a tremendous job, George.
He's now the GM of UNC.
Yep.
And Michael Lombardi was on VSiN this morning on the Lombardi line. And here's what he had to say about how him and Bill Belichick ended up at UNC.
But this came together because Bill wanted to go back to college. I think if you read the David Halberstam book, Education of a Coach, Halberstam predicted that one day Belichick would go back to college football because he values teaching so much. And I think the landscape of college football has changed dramatically in the sense that it is pay for play. And, you've got to evaluate the players on the roster. You've got to put a dollar sign on the player. And then you've got to be able to motivate and coach within the framework of monetary compensation. So, for me and my relationship with Coach Belichick, once he decided he wanted to do this, and then he asked me if I wanted to do it, then, I thought, why not? This is the perfect time, the perfect setting, and for my wife and I to go back down there and enjoy, college football in a most incredible little town that is going to be a football town in the future.
So he wants to be a teacher. He loves football. Has no problem going to college because he loves teaching the game.
George, let me tell you something.
Look, a coach is a coach, man.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
My mom's family is from that area. I grew up a Tar Heels fan. Like, it was all in her. It's in her blood, okay,
Nice.
on her side of the family. Bill Belichick could win 3 natties back to back to back. Then his son takes over and wins natties, like a video game, just constant natties. It will never be a football town. I love Michael Lombardi. I love him.
He's doing the
Never.
He's doing the part,
It'll never happen.
Any coach that gets a job anywhere, shoot, you get a job at Syracuse.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. This state loves football. New York City loves football.
Right.
I can't wait to have fans rallying around this team. Brother, you're up in Syracuse, New York.
Carry your
No
dome.
one from New York City gives a damn about
That's
you.
right.
Lombardi's doing his part. You get the job, got to pump
you
up
gotta
the
say
numbers.
It. But for the record, it
Promote
will
the school.
never be a football school.
I know, I thought the same thing.
Ever.
But the first few parts, he wants to teach. I get it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it boils down to for Bill, too. Again, he has ultimate control of the program where he only has to teach football. The GM, which he'll have final say on how much you're spending. GM answers to him, who's Michael Lombardi. But here's a salary cap. You go do that. You send the scouts to do this, the recruiters to do that. Someone look at the portal. Someone look at high school. Someone look at our locker room.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach football. It makes sense.
Yeah. I know they're friends, but I wonder, and he's never going to tell us this on camera. If we get a drink with him, maybe he will. But I just wonder how much change has happened between the both of them since they worked together last, George.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like, this is a kinder, gentler Bill Belichick, no doubt. He was having fun. He was smiling.
Yeah.
He was turned up at that press conference. Michael Lombardi's been doing media a long time now. I just wonder, obviously, like, there's not going to be a fracture in the friendship, but it's changed. It's evolved. So I wonder the difference. I would love to just ask Michael Lombardi after a couple years on the gig here, hey, how is this Bill different than the previous Bill you worked with?
Yeah. I would still hell-bent on winning.
Oh, sure. There's going to be certain traits that are just Bill, right?
Yeah.
But I would think this might be more fun, right? Atmospherically even speaking, like not as much pressure, not as uptight.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe a year away from the game.
Yeah.
Good
right?
reset. You going to UNC, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're living large. Like you're in Chapel Hill.
Right.
And the weather's a little better. College campus. We
Chapel Bill, baby.
We know
right?
Chapel Bill. We know he's a fan of all that.
Yeah.
He's got his girl now.
Yeah.
Like
he's feeling younger, a little more spry, a little more pep in Bill's step.
By the way, the contract, our producer Ethan sent this to me.
Okay.
5-year deal through December 2029.
All right.
$1 million base salary plus $9 million in supplemental income. The first 3 years of base salary and supplemental income. Oh, it gets cut off there.
What is supplemental income?
So basically, he's making $10 million a year the first 3 years. Last 2 are like option years. So he has a base salary and supplemental income is like the kick-ins. Then he has bonuses. He can make up to $3.5 million a year. Win 8 games, $150,000. He's going to win 8 games. Conference championship game appearance, $200K. Win, $300K. Postseason bonus, any bowl game, another $150. Non-CFP, but an elite bowl appearance. I wonder what elite is. $350. Gets in the college football playoff. $750,000. Wins a national championship. $1.7 million. That's pretty cheap. If you're bringing a national championship to UNC, you should get $10 million. And then what gets me is this is actually a really good contract for UNC. The buyout, if they fire him before June 1st of 2025, this upcoming June, if they fire him before then, $10 million. If they fire him after, just $1 million. This is the most university-friendly contract I've ever seen.
Supplemental income, I'm still stuck on. That's fantastic.
The new term.
I mean, listen, man, money, power, respect, what you need in life. Bill got it all. Chapel Bill, man.
Here's Michael
Congratulations.
Lombardi. Here's Michael Lombardi and how the UNC operation will and won't differ from their NFL operations.
Not much, Mike. I think we're going to build a pro personnel department, and that pro personnel department really will be the transfer portal. So that will be what we build there to monitor all the college teams, whether it's in the ACC, the Big Ten, the Southeast Conference, or in any conference, right? The new Pac-12. So you have to monitor all the players just like you would in pro football. And then obviously you'll have a director of college scouting, but that guy will be the director of high school scouting and monitor all the high schools. Because of the portal and because of all the changes that go on within the portal, I mean, we got to get a quarterback. You got to get offensive and defensive linemen. It's the same thing. Nothing's really going to change on this at all, because at the end of the day, we're going to build a football team the same way we've always built a football team, inside out, and with the offensive line, with the quarterback, and all the things that I talked about on VEASAN, on the Lombardi line, and on GM Shuffle. That's going to be the manifesto for when we go down there. That's going to be the first thing first. Do we have a quarterback? Can we protect? Do we have an offensive line? Do we have a defensive line? Those are the pillars that we're going to start and stress and build on for the remainder of our time. So I think that's the first action that we have to take. You know, it's not about adding players. It's about building the team.
He spoke about that on Foxborough Rush, too.
Yeah, he did. He did. It is about adding players. I just want to throw that out there. I'm telling you, I keep hearing this. There's a pattern. Bill's saying it. Lombardi's saying it. It's the structure. It's the program.
Yeah.
We're gonna get kids to the league. We're gonna develop them.
And we're going to pay for them.
Okay.
$20 million in NIL. Top 3 recruits, Trav, wide receiver, quarterback. Top 3 in the portal right now.
They better pay first. I just think a little reverse engineering here. Well, first of all, we're going to pay kids top dollar here at UNC. And then once we get you here, we're going to X, Y, and Z. But there's a lot of X, Y, and Z leading the cart right now. It's the cart leading the horse. You better get some horses. You better pay these damn tickets.
Those stallions, yeah.
Yeah, man. Sticker prices. You better pay them. Ain't no negotiating and haggling anymore.
I would like to point out that Bill was big on no player making more than him.
Right.
And he was the most frugal guy when it came to deals.
I know.
Tom Brady took team-friendly deals.
Saying.
Robert Gronkowski, Julian Edelman.
That's my point. Those days, if Bill can accept those days are gone, he'll be fine. That's all I'm saying, bro. You could have been doing that in the NFL for 20 years.
Nico Iamaleava, $8 million. Cam Ward, higher paid than that.
Ooh.
Keep that in mind.
Man.
And here's Michael Lombardi talking up having the greatest head football coach at UNC.
I think what we're thinking about is how are we going to build this team the right way. I think that's the most important thing. And then I know this, we're going to have the greatest coach of all time coaching the team, and he's going to coach the coaches. And we're going to be really good at situational football, and we're going to be really detailed, and we're going to be really a mentally tough football team. And I don't know how those translates into wins, but that's what the program's going to stand for.
That's it. Win. That's what it stands for. You got the best football coach of all time, and they got the support from the university. That's what's big, Trav.
If you were Bill, would you have taken this job?
Am I me?
Yes.
I'm me in Bill's situation?
Yes.
No, I'm not taking it. Bro, I am enjoying my last check I got from the Crafts.
Oh, you're not even. You're just done. You were
I'm
retired.
73 years old. You know what I'm gonna do, Trav? I'm chasing summer, bro. I am not doing this. No.
Okay.
He coached non-stop in the NFL
Yeah.
from 73 to 2023.
Yeah.
Or was it 75 to 2023? Whatever. Around 50 years.
Right.
Literally dedicated his whole damn life.
His whole life.
His whole damn life to football.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
relaxing, bro. That's literally from he was 22 on, every sacrifice you can make, all
Man.
for the sport. I'm not taking this job.
I'm competitive and I'm petty. I'm getting an NFL job, whoever will hire me.
Yeah, I would eat my ego.
And I would pass Shula, and then
Yeah.
I'd be out.
I would
2
swallow
years,
my pride,
then
go
I'm
to the
gone.
Bears, take Caleb.
Well, that's a good gig. I don't
Yeah.
know if he. Listen, let's have that conversation. I know he's gone from the NFL now, but like he might not. The Bears may not want that. He might have to take a Jet, a Giant, just one of these awful job of a Raider. But
He's not.
well, clearly he's not. But I'm saying if I were him, I would pass Shula and then I'd be out. I'd go 2 seasons past
Yeah.
Shula and then I'm gone.
Yeah. He would just needed 15 more wins to pass Shula.
That's right.
All-time
2
wins,
seasons.
regular season and postseason.
He could do that in 2. 7
yeah.
wins, 8 wins. Bill can get you that in the NFL.
Raiders with a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
Giants with a top 3
Yeah.
pick.
That's what
The
I'm
Bears
saying.
with their structure as is.
I would have done that. You would have chilled out, did the media. You would have did what he was doing, right? I would have went back to NFL, past Shula and them and out. And neither one of us saw this damn UNC move. Go figure. That's
one.
life for you, huh?
No one saw it. The NBA season is here. The big question is, will the Celtics repeat and claim Banner 19? You can find everything about the NBA and its culture on Nesson's basketball podcast, Hold My Banner. That's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever else podcasts are found. If you're watching on the Nesson YouTube page, hit the subscribe button as well. Trav, one last question before we take a quick look. Patriots, Cardinals. You heard from Lombardi.
Yeah.
You heard from Bill.
Yep.
In 3 years, UNC football will be doing what?
They'll
Led
be in
by who?
They'll be in the college football playoff in Bill's last season before he hands it over to his son.
Yeah. Look, I said it before. I'm going to say it again. This is the perfect time for Bill Belichick to make the move from NFL to the NCAA. It's no longer about recruiting. It's about paying players. He doesn't have to make a trip to any living rooms. Deion Sanders doesn't do that. And what Bill Belichick pushed for UNC to do is up their NIL from $4 million to $20 million. It took Ohio State $20 million to build their team together. Nico Iamaleava, the quarterback for Tennessee, the reason they're in the playoff, he's making $8 million a year. The University of Miami, just on the outside looking into the playoff, $15 million in NIL, and they're paying Cam Ward. How Michigan just got the #1 recruit in the country coming up on next season, they give him an NIL deal of over $10 million. And look at the college football playoff right now. Indiana, 3-9 last season. Kirk Cignetti comes in, brings 28 players with him in the portal. They win 11 games. He avoided all the beasts in the Big Ten, though. Arizona State, the 4 seed, got the bye. 3-9 in Kenny Dillingham's second season. They go 11-2, win the Big 12. He brought 27 new players with him. This year, he got Sam Levitt out of the portal. Last year, he got Cam Scadaboo from Sac State in the portal. His 2 most important players. Levitt, his quarterback, Scadaboo, his running back. And then Boise State, 8-6 last season. Spencer Danielson comes in. They win the Mountain West, 12 wins.
Yep.
Boom, they're in the college football playoff. UNC will be in the college football playoff by year 2. And Bill Belichick made this move solely because he wasn't getting control in the NFL.
Sure.
He's getting control at UNC. It's him as a head coach, his son as the DC, his friend as the GM, all his guys leading the staff, all NFL guys. And guess what? He controls everything.
Yep.
Because when you're the head coach of a college football program, you control everything. It's what he did with the Patriots for over 20 years. It's what led to 6 Lombardi trophies down in Foxborough.
Yep.
It's what's going to lead for newfound success for UNC, who hasn't won their conference since 1980, but they've never had a head coach like this.
Well said, brother. Amen. You taking them to church here on Foxborough Rush.
I doubted it, but now it's here, and you just look at the landscape of college football. It's all happening. All right, man. Quick look. Patriots 3-10.
Duh.
At the Cardinals, who are 6-7. Arizona favorites by 6 points in this one.
Duh.
Hey, but yeah. Both teams have just been absolutely sputtering as of late. Patriots have lost 3 straight. Arizona's lost 3 straight. More importantly, though, the Patriots, only times they beat teams, the Bears who stunk, the Jets who stunk. While the Cardinals, close losses against good teams.
Get right game here. Get right game here.
Yeah. Yep.
Cardinals
I like
are going to
the
be
number
just
2
fine. Cardinals are winning this game. I'm going 26-20. Kyler late steals it and seals it for the Cardinals. I think we're going to see what we always see, which is going to be more damning to Gerard Mayo. Coming out of a bye, Patriots will play inspired. They'll be in the game till late. And then in the fourth quarter, last drive style, they blow it. The defense lets you down. They're gassed. There's no adjustments.
Yeah.
Mayo's looking lost. Kyler Murray's making plays. Little legs just getting it all over the place, extending the drive, picking up first down. Cardinals win it 26-20. And we continue this, what the hell is happening to this defense late in games for the Patriots. And we understand it's Gerard Mayo. Patriots continue to lose the rest of the way, and he will be fired at the end of the season.
Would you call Kyler little legs?
His little just
F you. Don't talk about short kings like that. Look, man, it's Kyler Murray. It's James Conner, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr. They got their left tackle, Jonah Williams, back. They got guys, and this defense can't cover. This defense can't get stops. Drake May can keep up. Defense for the Cardinals isn't terrible. Arizona is a run-first football team.
Yeah, they are.
Behind their 2 running backs, and Connor and Benson, that's how they win games. The Patriots can't stop the run. This is out in Arizona. This team's coming off a bye, man. They're looking at the last 4 games and looking to get the hell out of here. Cardinals win. I really like the number 2 of -6. I'm laying the points on this one, too. He's Travis Thomas. I'm George Balekji. This is Foxborough Rush. Shout out to you guys making us a part of your day. Shout out to Michael Lombardi on the new job. Congrats, man. Hopefully we get you back on the pod. Love to hear more about it on your move over to UNC. An interesting time for Patriots fans and New England football. UNC sounds like on the up and up with the right hire, I will say, a good hire. Well, the New England Patriots are still trying to figure out if they made a decent hire at all. He's Double T. I'm GB. We'll see you guys next week with a new episode on Monday. This was Rush. See you guys next time. Have a good one, everyone.